this, I think, is the best part of it. It's also very scary.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can thank Shannon for, you know, teaching me the whole way. Since I first got here, Shannon has been my teacher, and she's taught all the youth kids, directed every single youth production since before I even came into the production.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad that she trusts me to take the reins on this one and, you know,
Yeah.
give these kids in the youth production a chance to really, really show what they're good at on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Butterfield Backstage Banter, the BSP podcast all about Butterfield.
Hello and welcome to Butterfield Backstage Banter. I'm your host, Jessica DeMent, and today I am joined by Emmet Bayer. Hello, Emmet.
Hi.
And Emmet is the director of our youth one-act play. Congratulations on that, Emmet.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me today.
No problem.
So Emmet, before we talk about the one act, why don't you go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about your theater background?
Well, most of my theater background is here at Butterfield. It really got me into theater in the first place. I didn't know I even wanted to do theater whenever I was in about 6th grade or so, until I started doing the youth summer camps here, and I fell in love with it because it's a lot of fun. It's for me when I was a kid, it was a lot of fun because it's like you play. It's called a play, but it's doing a lot of playing and playing pretend. So that's really where I fell in love with it. And later on, I, learned everything that goes into it, and I love the process, and I love, entertaining people on stage.
I totally understand. You got bit by that theater bug and stuck around, huh? Can you give me and our audience a brief synopsis about the one act play? Go ahead and tell us what it is and what it's about.
When Bad Things Happen to Good Actors is a one act about a group of middle school or high school age students that are trying to put on a one act about the Wizard of Oz. But things go wrong, obviously. And it's just a very funny comedy, and I really liked this one because I like to give these students, our advanced students, the opportunity to learn how to do comedic timing, how to pause for laughter, how to really, learn all the different ways that you're going to make an audience just roar in laughter. That's what this play is, I think, for them. And a lot about it is similar to the last show, so it was really good for them to see how that play worked, to get an idea of how to do their own thing for their one act.
That's awesome. I know I did see quite a few of our youth students who came to see the show.
Mm-hmm.
They came up, in the lobby afterward. And I think it's great that we did have the play that goes wrong, and then right after it, a show that's very similar in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the play that goes wrong junior, but it's almost kind of.
It is its own thing.
Yes. Yeah. But it has that same kind of like spirit of, this is what live theater is and what it takes, and that kind of tenacity of seeing the show through to the end when things do go awry. Because no matter how hard we rehearse and how much we prepare, there's still the element of something that has the potential of going wrong when you're live. And how do we react to that and not let it just completely tank the show? So
the show is a very good learning experience, I think.
So that's awesome. I'm definitely excited to see it. I'll be coming to see that. Let's talk a little bit about what it's like getting to direct a youth production after having come up through the Butterfield program and done the youth stuff. And I imagine that there may even be some overlap of some of the kids that potentially you were in the program with. So what's that like for you?
It's very humbling, I think. Being able to give back to what allowed me to be able to direct this, I think, is the best part of it. It's also very scary. a lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can thank Shannon for, you know, teaching me the whole way. Since I first got here, Shannon has been my teacher, and she's taught all the youth kids, directed every single youth production since before I even came into the production. Mm-hmm. And I'm really glad that she trusts me to take the reins on this one and, you know, give these kids in the youth production a chance to really, really show what they're good at on stage.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I imagine that it is probably quite an honor to be able to have, you know, with Shannon having developed such an incredible youth program and, you know, poured so much of herself into it, for her to be like, I trust you to handle this. It must have felt quite nice whenever.
It does feel really nice, and also, you know,
really scary, because you don't want to mess up that trust.
Yes. A lot of responsibility.
I understand. What has been some of the challenges, or even a challenge that you've faced with directing this show, and how did you overcome it?
Well, it's not the first show I've been involved with on a technical, in a technical way, or like a designing way. I've been, you know, helping a lot here and there with both the main stage and youth shows for a few years now. So I have a good idea of everything it takes to put these shows together as a director. Mm-hmm. It was just learning how to do everything on my own, basically, which you can't do everything by yourself, even as a director. You do need the help from everybody in the production. I've definitely needed it in the recent weeks leading up to the show. I can thank Shannon for that. I can thank everybody else that's helped me for that. The most challenging part was figuring out what directors usually have to make decisions about, like casting and, you know, what's best for the actors and how to help them the best. I am not the best communicator. I am very much an introvert, so it's really hard for me sometimes. It was a lot harder a long time ago, but I get better at it. Mm-hmm. Like directing with a voice. Yeah. Telling people and teaching people, and especially the students, how to really do what's going to work best for them. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not the best communicator, but I'm getting better. And I can definitely thank Shannon for being, you know, well, she has a lot more experience than I do, and she's really good at, like, you know, teaching actively. And I'm more, I know I have an idea of what needs to be taught. I'm not the best at speaking it to people and communicating that, but I'm getting there. And that's also one of the harder things about it.
I can understand that. I think it's so great that you have this, while, you know, you've gone through the youth program and you've learned so much from Shannon. Now you're still learning from her, but just in a different way.
I'm open.
Yes, that she has, I just scratched my microphone, that she has so much to be able to teach and impart into, like, the next generation of theater, and that you have this opportunity to be able to learn directing and some of that, because, you know, you're still very young, and so you have a whole life worth of theater ahead of you, and being able to learn such fabulous lessons. And I know Shannon really does just do a great job about teaching the kids, like, so many things. So I know you've gotten a fabulous theater education so far, and being able to continue to build on that in this new position is so wonderful. So tell me, what have some of the highlights of this process been for you?
It's kind of like fulfilled my, like what you said, learning a lot over the years of helping put together youth productions and main stage productions. I like the entire process of putting on a show. I like all the technical aspects, the sound design, the light design. I love painting sets. I actually worked on building this set for the first time for this show. It was just putting up walls to my dad, but, you know, I have, like, learned every little bit that it takes to put these shows together and make them work. You can't do any of it alone by yourself. It takes a whole team, but it's really nice, and you get more confident whenever you know, oh, this needs to happen in order for a show to be put on. And this has kind of been like a fulfillment of that, where I've been able to help because my favorite thing is to help people make the show work and be the best that it can be. It's helped fulfill my want to do that. I can you know, be that person that people look to for help when it comes to making these shows possible. I can't do everything, but I can at least be a source of certainty, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what word I'm looking for, but that's
being able to kind of help be that person of authority, but more of, it sounds to me as you're speaking, it sounds more like that whole like servant leader mindset. Like, yes, I am, like, I'm in charge here, but I'm in charge to help everybody here and not to just be the boss and like throw my weight.
I don't ever feel like the boss.
Yes.
I do feel like the boss for the children sometimes, though. Someone has to keep them in line.
Oh yeah.
But most of the time, it's just getting their attention. It's not like bossing them around.
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually heard from a lot of our youth kids that they watch our podcast. So it's not just like the adults. I know there are some youth kids. So hello to the youth. If you're in the program, looking forward to getting to see you on stage. Emmet, to wrap up, why don't you go ahead and tell our audience why they don't want to miss this show?
This show is a great experience for not only the kids acting on stage, for them to really receive that laughter and that feedback from the audience that I so wanted them to get from doing a comedy show like this. I've been begging Shannon to do another comedy. I think the last one that she did for the youth program was A Somewhat True Tale of Robin Hood, and I was in that one, and I remember just really having the time of my life in that one. Kids love getting applause and clap and just laughter from the audience. It's so good for their self-esteem, and it will encourage them to keep acting and keep getting better at things like comedic timing and getting better at staying in character when people are laughing. That's definitely a hard thing.
Yes, it is.
This show is one that you really want to be here for, especially if you know these kids. It's really going to showcase how talented they are and how hard they've been working to make this come across. This is like some of their first, I think for most of them, it's their first comedy show like this.
Oh,
so it's a big deal.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, folks, you heard it from Emmet. And I definitely agree. This sounds like a wonderful show that you want to come out and see. You'll have 3 opportunities to see it: April 24th, April 25th.
Because there are 2 on Sunday.
Oh, yes. So April 25th, 26th, and 27th. And the 26th has 2 opportunities to see it. So make sure to get your tickets. They are on sale now. And I know tickets for our youth stuff always go very quickly. So don't wait. Go ahead and get your tickets, call the box office, or go online. All the details will be in the text box below, and we'll see you at the theater.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. For more information, please visit butterfieldstage.org.